Hi everyone, Janie here. Thanks for stopping by today. I truly appreciate you all so much. Today I have a project that I really hope you like, and if you do, it would mean so much to me if you would give this a thumbs up and share it. And also, I hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you do, I hope you click on that little bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you all so much, and now let's get started. Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be making one-sheet wonder cards with a twist. Normally one-sheet wonder cards are made with 12 by 12 designer paper, but Crafty Purple Frog on Instagram posted a challenge using 6 by 6 designer paper, and if that wasn't enough, there's an additional challenge to use just one stamp set. And I have decided to participate in that challenge and thought I would share my process with you. So before I get started, I wanted to show you the cutting layout that I used. And don't worry about if you can see it good or not, because right now I'm going to pop up a picture here and you can just pause the video and either write it down or do a screenshot. Now, even though I used this for my guide, I did not follow it exactly. For example, these 2 by 2 squares, I actually used one of these stitched cutting dies, and it's not exactly 2 by 2. So that's what I used for those. And then for the, let's see if I can get this out here. For the 1-inch ones, I used this die. So I did it a little bit differently, and you know, you can do it any way you want. This is just kind of a guideline, and then you kind of go from there and do what works for you, kind of like what I did. The paper and stamp and die set that I used came from In Love Arts, and there'll be links below in the description box. And I used paper from this Autumn Garden paper pack, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And the paper I used is the one that you are seeing right there in the middle. And I used the Thanksgiving Hedgehog stamp and die set that contains 13 stamps, including sentiments, and 13 coordinating dies. I absolutely love how beautifully the dies cut out the stamped images. And here are the 2 hedgehogs that I'm going to be using, and I used Gathered Twigs Distress ink and stamped onto craft cardstock and didn't have to do much coloring, but I did use colored pencils. That covers it. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to be speeding things up a little, and I don't want to bore you, but for the first 3 cards, I'm going to be showing things such as inking a few edges that I hadn't inked ahead of time, and layering the pattern paper on top of the foiled cardstock. By the way, if you're wondering, I cut the foiled cardstock 1/4 inch bigger than the pattern paper, and I used a paper trimmer that has a blade that creates a scalloped edge because I really think that's a pretty look. And for the squares, I already showed you that I used the stitched square dies, and for the foiled cardstock, I used the die that is the next size up from the one that I used to cut the pattern paper. And that is how I created all of the layers. Okay, so for those of you that are new to making one-sheet wonder cards, let me explain them to you. Whether you're using 6-inch or 12-inch scrapbook paper or designer paper, the object is to just use that one sheet of paper to make as many cards as you can. But you can use a solid cardstock to layer that paper on, just like I'm layering the paper on top of the metallic cardstock. And you can add die cuts or rhinestones or sequins or whatever embellishments you'd like to use. The trick is finding ways to cut your paper to make it go the farthest. And sometimes that can be a challenge. To be honest, it's much easier with a 12 by 12 piece of paper than it is with a 6 by 6. But to my amazement, I am getting 6 cards from that 6-inch square of paper. And the last one is not my favorite, so I should have stopped with 5 cards, but I had leftover pieces, and you all know me, I hate letting anything go to waste. So The good news is that you can cut the paper any way you want. You can cut it all squares or all strips or triangles for corners, or you can mix and match and use a combination of squares and triangles and strips and whatever you like. There are so many possibilities, and you just need to use your imagination. But if you struggle with it, I'm sure you can find layouts on Pinterest. Just search One Sheet Wonders. And of course, I provided you with the layout I used to cut out the pieces for my cards. And then there are the card layouts, which can also be any way you want them. Creativity and beauty are definitely in the eye of the beholder or the eye of the creator. The only real rule is just using one sheet of patterned paper. Okay, we are now getting to my two favorite cards, which are the ones that I use those adorable hedgehogs on. I think they are so sweet, and that sentiment that came with that stamp set that says, "My life is much better with you in it," is just perfect for that and makes a wonderful card for someone special, and it doesn't even have to be for Thanksgiving. And there's another friendship sentiment in that stamp set that says, "Our friendship is double the fun." Maybe I should have used that for one of those cards. I honestly love that Autumn Garden paper pack and the Thanksgiving Hedgehog stamp and die set. I usually don't make cards for Thanksgiving or fall, but when I saw that paper and that stamp and die set, I knew I had to have it, and it has really inspired me to make these cards and some other cards that I'll probably be sharing with you soon. Okay, aren't they just adorable? I really do love these two cards. Okay, my dear friends, I am honestly running out of things to talk about, so I hope you don't mind listening to some music for a couple of minutes while I'm finishing up these cards, but I'll be back before the video is over, so keep watching. And here's that last card that I said was not my favorite. But I would love to know which card is your favorite, so let me know below in the comments. And if you're new to One Sheet Wonder cards, I hope this has inspired you to give it a try. And for the rest of you that haven't done it with 6-inch paper, I hope you give it a try. I really appreciate you all so much. You have no idea how much you mean to me, and I'm so thankful that you take the time to watch my videos and watch them all the way to the end. And I also love hearing from you, so please leave me a comment because they really make my day. Oh, and if you're interested in that challenge, go find the Crafty Purple Frog on Instagram. And as always, there are links below in the description box to most of the products that I used today, and there will also be a 25% off discount code to In Love Arts should you decide to shop there. Thanks so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.